What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So while we were out on Watts Bar, I was still having some trouble with the water pressure on my lower unit. So I'm going to go ahead today and I'm going to change the impeller out in the unit, and I'm going to show you what everything that you have to do on this lower unit to make that happen. So you've got 6 bolts that hold the foot right here in this area, 3 on this side, 3 on the opposite side, and that's a 9/16, I believe. Yes, 9/16. Don't ask me what this bolt is yet. Maybe a 1/2 inch, but that holds your little anode and your torque. I forget what they call that thing, but it helps keep the boat going, tracking straight for torque. And then I'm not going to bore you with taking all these bolts off, but so we'll see you back after I get everything loosened and as soon as you take all the bolts out, it just drops straight out. So there's no special hoses or anything that you got to worry about. It just drops right out. So let's get after it. This bolt right here is a 12 millimeter, and there are 2 more bolts underneath here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a bolt just on the back side here and another one right behind it. Those are both 15 millimeters. All right, that's what it looks like taken off. Whenever you go to line it back up, this is the only part that's going to be difficult. Right here, you see this little, shift linkage. That's kind of difficult to get lined up. So that we'll address that later, but let's get over to the unit. All right, this is the water pump. Let's take these 4 bolts out, pull that cover off, and let's take a look at this impeller. All right, after the water pump is off, this is what it looks like. There's a little gasket underneath. Kind of sits just like that. This one's in good shape, so I'll probably reuse it. And it sits like this with the water intake right there. So that sits towards the propeller. So whenever you put it back on, it'll sit just like that. All right, next step. I need to get the impeller cover off, which is this right here. I'm gonna get a screwdriver, put it underneath of it, and just pry it up. I'm taking note here that there is like a slight little groove that comes out on the right-hand side. So if you're looking at the propeller, the groove is on the right. That kind of lines up right in the middle for the start. So here's the middle. The ending of it is right here. So I'm gonna make sure that I put that back exactly the way it was. All right, impeller is off. This one doesn't look like it's in horrible shape, but I see some like stress marks here. Not sure what they really look like whenever they come out, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace it just to make sure that this isn't my issue. It could be my gauge, but I don't want to have the motor blow up over something stupid like this. So this is what it looks like without that on there. Just a little keyway right here. All you gotta do is line that up with a little slot, and I'm gonna get some adjustable wrenches and put it over the top, and I'm gonna use a hammer to put it back into place. So super easy. We're gonna head to the parts store, pick up one of these, and we'll be right. Line up my keyway. That was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. A little bit of oil. Make my life easier.
It's not in it.
Basically, this plastic ring, you have a washer that goes down below, and then this plastic ring goes down over top of it. And then you have a metal cap that goes over the top of that. That's that. All right, put our bolts back in. Make sure those little tabs are lined up. Start it by hand. Make sure that's not cross-threading. Once you got them all started by hand and they're all free spinning, then you can go ahead and use your power tool, snug them all down. Don't drive them down real hard because this is plastic, but just snug them. Doesn't have to be real tight. Go in an X pattern. That should be tight enough. Now we can reinstall it. The boat's moving.
No shit.
Alright, hold right there. It's this now. Don't push, but hold it. You got it. Don't let it down.
Is that right?
Hold on. Don't push.
I'm not.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, don't let it off. Alright. Where did the fuck my screws?
I don't know, they went everywhere.
Tighten it down. And that's how you do that. God, that was difficult to get that lower unit on. That's the hardest part of this entire job. It sucks. There ain't no way around it. It just sucks. Gonna take the boat out, water test it, make sure everything is working fine, because we're probably gonna trade in this motor. So that was one of the reasons that I wanted to get this done. Make sure that everything's up to par with it, get the most trade-in value, because we're gonna put a brand new 250 show on the back of this thing. Let's go. I'll see you back in a minute. All right, everybody, we're headed to the river. This might very well be the last time you get to see this motor. So, went to the bank. As I was saying before the battery so rudely interrupted me and died on me, that went to the bank, talked to them on a brand new show, and talked to our local marine dealer that has the motor. And so I'm just waiting to hear back from the bank that everything's approved for me to get rid of that guy. So that'll be a massive, massive upgrade. I'll be getting rid of this and losing the oil tank and dropping about 150 pounds off the back of this boat. So I'm looking forward to that, just being able to bump the key, it fire right up and go down the water and not worry about hours, because as you know, 4 strokes last way longer than a 2-stroke. So let's keep our fingers crossed that's the last time you see that guy. Let's take it out to the water test it, and make sure that everything's working properly. All right, we made it to the water. Time for the water test. Think it's gonna work? I think it's gonna work. I don't know, let's see. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'd like to read them and answer them. So, as you see, I did end up going with the new 250 Show. I have used it since then, and I couldn't be happier. So, you guys stay tuned. I'll do some videos talking about the performance of this and everything that it's done as far as changing the handling of this boat. So, again, I appreciate you guys watching. I really do, and we'll catch you on the next one.